Ladies and gentlemen, this is CocoSports.com. Boom Boom here. I'm going to give you a little update to the passing of El Hijo del Perro Aguayo. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who tuned in yesterday for the shocking news, and for some of you with a lot of the unique hits we got. I'm sorry that this is how you were introduced to CocoSports.com, but it's been 24 hours since the Perro's passing, and we've learned a lot more. First of all, funeral services were held for the Perro in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's being reported that the crash promotion, basically ESPN Deportes is reporting that Ignacio Delgado, the owner of the independent company Crash that was promoting the match where Aguayo tragically passed away, is covering all the funeral expenses. Sounds like it's going to handle everything they can for the family. Now, in this time, we've had a little bit more information. Right now, it was just an in-ring accident, and it's getting sadder and sadder and sadder because Figure 4 online is reporting that Lucha Libre star, with Hijo del Perro Aguayo passing away, there are reports that his father doesn't even know about it, because they're so worried about how he's going to take the news. Apparently, he's not in good health right now, and this is and I don't know, as if recording the show, he has still been informed about his son's passing, but I can imagine how painful that must be, because, with funeral services being held, he'll never, assuming that he still hasn't been told, wasn't able to attend his own son's funeral, the services for him, and I can't picture really anything sadder than that. The whole thing is just blown up. The accident has, when Rey Mysterio has become the single most searched term on the internet for Saturday. And again, for those of you looking for video of the tragedy, like I said the other day, Dave and I spoke about this at length, and we just decided, in respect for Aguayo's family and as human beings, that we just can't in good conscience post that video at CocoSports.com, nor can we post the links to that. We just don't feel like it would be tasteful, and we want to take the high road here at CocoSports.com. Not saying that you shouldn't watch the videos, not saying you can't watch the videos. You're adults, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but we just didn't want to, we don't want to promote CocoSports.com like that, so, forgive us if that offends you, but we just decided that we wanted to take the high road on that one, so thank you very much. Speaking of Rey Mysterio, it's being reported now that Rey Mysterio has been receiving death threats in Mexico. Obviously, Rey Mysterio is just completely upset about this. He posted a tweet in Spanish, which translated to roughly, "Just a friendship of brothers that formed began years ago, and we should not question the ways of God. But on this occasion, I wonder why. I do not understand. I miss you, and I will take you with me for the rest of my life. Rest in peace, Hijo del Perro." Now we kind of need to get into a little bit more, I guess, the legal controversy. For those of you who have seen that video, you've noticed that the EMTs were late to arrive. Because Hijo had spent at least a couple of minutes down, and you could tell it took a couple of minutes before anybody realized that something was wrong. According to Media Tempo, Hijo del Perro's death was reported as a stroke caused by cervical spine damage, and the medical examiner reported that he suffered from whiplash. So it's looking like just a pure and simple accident. There was criticism about the EMTs showing up late, and I'm not going to, defend or criticize them, but it took them some time to get out there. I don't know if, what was going on, but it's now being reported that the reason they were late getting from backstage to the ringside was the fact that they were tending to two other wrestlers who were injured in that event at Crash in Tijuana that evening. They placed him on it wasn't actually a stretcher like I had reported yesterday. We've now been updated and realized that was actually a piece of plywood that they put Hijo Del Perro on. And by the way, if I'm pronouncing things wrong, please forgive me. My Spanish is horrible. And plus I have a thick Southern accent, so if I'm mispronouncing things, please don't hold that against me. But and the EMTs or the medical staff backstage is defending their actions, and they were trying to help him out the best they could, and they got him to a hospital that was a block away, and he passed away a short time after he was brought to the hospital. Let's see, looking else here. This is and it's still a mess because it's not over. I know that Associated Press, I know KTLA in Los Angeles have reported that authorities have opened an investigation into this accident, and there could be looking at possible manslaughter charges. Now, I had to go digging up here because I'm not a lawyer, so I had to go look up on a legal dictionary. Now, the definition of manslaughter is defined as the unjustifiable, inexcusable, and intentional killing of a human being without deliberation, premeditation, and malice, in the unlawful killing of a human being without any deliberation, which may be involuntary in the commission of a lawful act without caution and circumspection. That's the legal definition. Now, there's two types of manslaughter charges you can face, and that is voluntary manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter. And there's a couple of other statutes that go with it, involuntary manslaughter. And let me go ahead and just knock out voluntary manslaughter, because I honestly don't think any prosecutor worth his weight in salt would bring up voluntary manslaughter charges, because voluntary manslaughter, that consists of an intentional killing that is accompanied by circumstances that mitigate but do not excuse the killing. That's basically when the person accused of the crime has been provoked to commit homicide, something like killing in the heat of in the heat of passion. Somebody's threatening somebody, and somebody's is just scared for their life, and winds up killing somebody in the. So I really don't think, from my opinion, from what I'm reading here by the legal definition, this is on the legal dictionary. I've looked it up online here, so if y'all want to look this up too, feel free to. This looks like, you have to establish a lot of conditions, like 4 conditions. The provocation must cause rage and fear in a reasonable person. The defendant must have actually been provoked. There should not be a time period between the provocation of the killing within a reasonable person would have time to cool off, and the defendant should not have cooled off in that time period. So that obviously, just if you've watched the video like I have, and yes, it doesn't make me a hypocrite. I just, I've seen the video. I just opted not to post it. Just, I'm thinking, well, that's a little too much. So, but after seeing that, no, I don't think that's going to be voluntary. Now, you've got involuntary manslaughter. And that is basically defined as the unlawful killing of another human being without intent. And then go from there, you go to 2 types of involuntary manslaughter. You have criminal negligent manslaughter and unlawful act manslaughter. Looking at the definitions, it looking like it's gonna be it looking like maybe criminal negligent, and assuming this is if it meets the standards. I mean, they're saying they're pursuing possible manslaughter charges. Here, I'm just going by what the definitions are. Now, unlawful act manslaughter, I don't think this would be one, because that would have to be the offense. Manslaughter is committed during the commission of or attempted commission of a misdemeanor. So I don't think a wrestling match meets that definition. Now, criminally negligent manslaughter is defined as a homicide resulting from the taking of an unreasonable and high degree of risk is usually considered criminal negligent manslaughter. Jurisdictions are divided on the question of whether a defendant must be aware of the risk. Modern criminal codes generally require a consciousness of risk, although under some codes, the absence of this element may make this offense a less serious homicide. But basically, they're saying, just to kind of break it down from legalese, it's saying it's when the failure to act is reckless or negligent and not intentional. It is usually manslaughter, and it's basically the death that results from an operation of a vehicle in a criminally negligent manner. But basically, it's you don't take enough care and somebody winds up dying in the process. That's what it's really looking like here. And of course, this is going by just by a legal dictionary. I am not a lawyer. I could not, tell you. I'm going by just by strictly by legal definitions here. I think it's absolutely sad all around. We'll definitely keep you updated on that. I'm just trying to look around here. Obviously, there's just been an absolute just outpouring of support from the wrestling community, surrounding this tragedy. I know that Stephanie McMahon had posted, but she posted completely, and her Twitter post was completely in Spanish. Dixie Carter, she tweeted sincere condolences to the family of Hijo del Perro, as well as Lucha Libre AAA. Our prayers are with you during this difficult time. Alberto El Patron wrote, "We lost a great friend and one of the best lucha in history. We're all crying for you, mi amigo Pedro." Matt Hardy, Sami Zayn, William Regal, even Vicky Guerrero, all tweeting out about that. And it's just, what can I say? This just doesn't get any easier. Looking at the video, which I've probably seen this a dozen times now. Absolutely just sad. Now, normally I would take questions and comments, but to be honest, like yesterday, I am not gonna take questions or any comments because this is something serious. This isn't like, should John Cena turn heel, or does Roman Reigns deserve his push? Because I mean that's all opinion based. There's really no right, no wrong answer. But this, I mean, you're talking about something serious. A man lost his life in just an absolute tragic accident, and I'm just reporting what's going on. And I can't really. I'm not an attorney, so I really can't comment on the legal aspects of it or what these guys are actually feeling right now. So, but I hope that you'll continue to follow us and subscribe to us at cocosports.com. We're going to continue to follow this story. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in and watching this. This is kind of off the cuff, but I do appreciate that. And like I said at the end of last show, don't leave the house without telling your family how much you love them, because you never know when just something beyond your control is going to happen and you're just not going to come home. So don't say goodbye. Just tell them you love them before you leave the house, and give them a big hug tonight. So this is Boom Boom for cocosports.com, and I am over.